Yeah, I mean, health insurance companies do not provide health care. Doctors, nurses, hospitals provide health care. Health insurance companies are needless, superfluous, unnecessary, parasitic, vulture like middlemen that gatekeep human rights in order to fatten their fat pockets, their already fat pockets. And yeah, he tripped his way into hell. You saw how he tripped? He fell funny. That dude fired 3 shots. He was like, wasted no time at all. Just and then the gun jammed. That was pretty wild too. Look, I would be great. I'd make a great detective. Okay. So he had recently received threats, several threats, according to a law enforcement official familiar with the investigation. The source and exact nature of the threats was unclear. Mr. Thompson, who was the tender age of 50, was shot from behind just before sunrise Wednesday as he arrived at the New York Hilton Midtown on West 54th Street for an investors gathering. Yes, the gathering of investors. Oh, holy matrimony of investors. Let's see. Hilton West 54th, New York City. Show me what that is. Where's the map? Let me see it on the map, you fuckface. Okay, here it is. Wow. What a place. Look at this shit, bruh. Is this street level? New York Hilton Midtown. What did I say? That looks like way too poor. I guess this is where it was. Does it have his route too? Thank you, Kramer. Dennis, that's not funny. Nobody thinks you're funny. What the fuck is this, dude? Can we show this? Can I show this on screen?
Okay, we're good now.
Low tech.
Wait, what just happened?
So there was unfortunately a very sad shooting in Manhattan where the United Healthcare CEO was shot. Seemed like it was targeted. Very, very terrible. But then I was watching the news this morning and the police chief in the news conference said that the assailant fled on a city bike, on an e-bike. Which is like crazy that a criminal would flee on a bike, like especially a city bike. But I've been scraping city bike data for the past few weeks. This is not it right here. This is it right here where, I can see where every individual bike has been. So I can see, okay, like this, let's see, like right here, bike number like 2164382 entered a dock at 2:03 p.m. and then it exited the dock. Someone else took the bike at 2:13 p.m. At station number 1058, which is Columbus Ave and West 59th Street.
Yeah.
So using all this data, I can see, I checked all the possible rides that the assailant could have fled on, and there were like only 8 rides within the time frame of the shooting. Only one of them was headed northbound through Central Park, so that was, which is what the police said that the guy went through. So I'm like really, really confident that this one ride was where the guy ended up. So he ended up on the Upper East Side. So yeah, I tweeted this. I'm like, oh, this is kind of interesting, and a bunch of people reached out, and like the tweet's getting a lot of likes now.
Yeah. Why the fuck do you have this data, Riley?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I like making kind of fun, weird websites that show data in an interesting way, and like I thought it'd be cool to make a site that shows like in real time like all the city bike rides in New York. Because like this isn't data that you can normally get. Like I had to reverse engineer the Lyft app to get this, so it's like data that you really can't get normally.
Wait, what did you do?
So like in the Lyft app, if I
This guy did it for sure. No question. That's him.
want to go and get a bike, let's say I like click on this stock right here, I can see that, oh, like bike 437,034 is there and like 382,600 is there. This is not public data, but like Lyft does give it in the app. Like it's not easy to get from their like public data APIs, but you can see it in the app. So I reverse engineered this endpoint, and then I set up scripts to like go through and check every minute, every dock in New York. So I've just been sitting on the data. I haven't made the website yet, but I have the data at least. So yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So he said the guy ended up on the Upper East Side. The clever son of a gun, Riley Waltz, explaining how he was able to reverse engineer to scrape the city bike data and pinpoint the assassin's route. So there was only a certain number of routes that were taken at that time that the killer could have possibly taken. He was so proud of himself that the company reached out and said, this kid is completely wrong. Yeah, no, this guy sucks for trying to catch our fur care. Yeah, hit or not, why is he trying to snitch? So he was completely wrong. He showed his whole address, really? So dead last, among the many possible motives being explored, some have pointed out that United Healthcare is one of the leaders in denying insurance claims. So 32% it denies. Here's the photos. I haven't seen all of these. Oh, I know. That's my cousin. Frank, is that you? Oh my God, Frank's involved. That is definitely Frank. That is his nose. He's white, just like that. He's definitely got 2 eyes. Holy shit. And then the backpack is kind of interesting. And then I heard that somewhere I read that, like, oh, the backpack maker knows who this guy is. Did y'all see that as well? The business run by Thompson brought in $281 billion in revenue last year, making it the largest subsidiary of the Minnetonka, Minnesota-based United Health Group. His $10.2 million annual pay package, including salary, bonus, and stock options, made him one of the company's highest paid execs. All right, where's this map? You said that there was a map. I like maps. Oh, here it is. Oh, shit. Map layout showing suspected route of the United Healthcare assassin. Dude, I was just thinking, like, yeah, imagine being this guy. Like, what are you thinking? What's going in your head? Like, where are you? The whole fucking country's looking for you? You're on the front page of the New York Times, and you were trying not to be found. That's just crazy, dude. So, number one, at 6:44, the victim is walking alone towards the New York Hilton Midtown after exiting his hotel across the street. The shooter, who was lying in wait alongside the building, fires at him. Okay. The shooter then runs to an alleyway. So it's 6:44. He just exited his hotel across the street. So what does that mean? He was over here and then he's exiting and then now he's walking up, or maybe he's walking this way, because remember the camera, it's like we're looking as if he would have been walking down the street this way. So the shooter, who was lying in wait alongside the building, fires at him just right here. Okay. I want to do that thing where you can zoom in on the Google map and be at street level and like see it. All right, shooter then runs to an alleyway between 54th Street and 55th Street. Once at West 55th Street, the shooter continues to walk on 6th Avenue. He gets onto an electric city bike. Shooter rides north on 6th Avenue towards Central Park. At 6:48 a.m., the shooter rides the bike into Center Drive. It's literally 4 minutes later. He's already in Central Park. That's pretty quick. 6:44. 4 minutes later, he's gone down this block. It's not until he gets here. It's weird that he goes in this way to an alleyway, but I don't know. Maybe I guess it's just to get off the street for a second, and then he pops back up, and he's into Central Park. And then, if we're to believe that Chode, that was trying to figure it out, he exited east. I think we know where he exited Central Park, though, don't we? That's true. The video shows him running across the street after. Where in this did the murder happen? You know, it doesn't say that this is where it, or does it say? So it's just like right here. I'm just confused as to where are we looking at? You know, like did he cross the street over here? But then that's not a part of it, unless he like ran this way, crossed, and then came back through here, and then did this whole number. Yeah, Google Maps. I know I need to do that. Let's read this thread. Armchair analysis breaking down the cold, calculated preparedness of... Okay. Shooter used a silencer, has a relatively stable posture, and appears to have taken the time to aim. This indicates possible prior experience. The lack of gloves is a bit surprising. I was surprised by that too. He's got everything else, but he doesn't have gloves on. Shooter's escape process was well planned. Escape on foot first, high agility but low speed in case of immediate chase. the bike pre-stashed nearby when immediate threat of apprehension is reduced. Bike is low agility, but higher speed. Okay. Shooter clearly knew the appearance and location of the victim, suggesting detailed preparation. Shooter's escape plan was well coordinated. Central Park is probably the area of New York City with the fewest cameras, allowing the shooter to change clothes without being recorded. Shooter brought backpack with change of clothes, right? As opposed to simply removing his sweatshirt. This was necessary because shooter can't leave discarded clothes in Central Park due to DNA risk. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, I was wondering, like, does he still, he can't possibly have that backpack still. Dump everything and pretend to be a jogger. Oof. That's not bad. You're just going for a jog in Central Park early morning. No big deal. Central Park is huge. I know because that's where I first met your mother. The United Healthcare removed slain CEO's... He's already been replaced. That's hilarious. They've already removed his page. His profile page. Okay, next. Even the CEOs get the worker treatment. Back to work, everyone. And you know what? United Healthcare is doing fine. You can off the CEO and it'll be business as usual. It's almost like they produce no value whatsoever. Bring in the next fail son. All right, bring in the next fail son, please.
Response to that was hilarious. Yo, the billionaire who got shot, that was not funny. The police's response to that was hilarious. If you don't know what happened, there was a billionaire who got, like...
He wasn't a billionaire, but might as well.
Assassinated today at like 7 in the morning. And the NYPD has been on the news all morning talking about, like, the footage, and they keep gassing up this guy. Every clip of the NYPD talking about this hitman is like, yo, he was nice. He was nice. He had to be a professional. If he wasn't a professional, he should have gone pro. His form was immaculate. You see the way he reloaded it when it jammed? Come on. Honestly, I've got my boys back in the station studying his form. This dude was elite. Used the silencer and got away on a city bike. Come on now. This dude is incredible. He might have been Jason Bourne. That is the funniest part of it. Like, even after all of this, the police are on the, like, hunt for a hitman, and they still gotta be like, yo, this dude's game is incredible. Game respects game.
Fuck the police. United Health Group's biggest shareholders include Vanguard and BlackRock. We just talked about that, right? Of course it is. We know that. BlackRock owns everything. And when you're the biggest shareholder, they let you do it. Cherry Bab, you got the joke. Was facing DOJ probe for insider trading when he was killed in targeted New York City shooting. Stock moves made before the news of an antitrust probe was made public knowledge. Apparently he didn't disclose to shareholders that this antitrust probe, and he like sold a bunch of stock beforehand. Yeah, he sold 15 million in stock on February 16th, less than 2 weeks before news of the federal antitrust probe went public. Yeah, of course we heard about Blue Cross declaring it will no longer pay for anesthesia for the full length of some surgeries, but then they rescinded that after all of this. So you can thank our masked assailant for Blue Cross changing its anesthesia policy. Kim Keck is the CEO to Blue Cross, just in case you have any ideas. Yeah, MAGA, make assassinations great again. United Health told the investor conference there was a serious medical situation that cut the event short. That event was death. God, this is such a CEO thing to say. High prices are a significant barrier to prescription drugs for many people. So we're using our unique capabilities to deliver savings for consumers. That sounds like a bunch of nothing. We are doing what we can to shield people. Yeah, what we can to shield people. Brian, looks like you didn't do what you can, or what you could, to shield yourself from those bullets, bitch. Yeah, and hope all stakeholders also, as soon as a corporation, says hope, you better check your back pocket. We're really hoping. I hope all stakeholders also will act to make prescription drugs more affordable. It's a nice little wish. That was Brian's wish, guys. Give it up for Brian. Wishing on a star. Thompson joined UHG in 2004, was CEO, blah, blah, blah. So here we go. We got the United Health reportedly notified of DOJ probe. All right, Hemsley sells shares for $56 million gain. He's like, fuck, I gotta sell my stock. More, $29 million gain, Q4 earnings. News of DOJ investigation becomes public and it plummets. Look at the stock goes down. They're just using good capitalist common sense, folks. You gotta sell high and buy low. Duh. You're gonna fault them for that? Well, yeah, actually. Firearms enthusiast argues against claims surrounding United Healthcare CEO's assassin's weapon of choice. There's been a bunch of misinformation about today's murder of United Healthcare's CEO. I'm going to debunk some of the firearm nonsense that has been stated. Myth 1. The pistol was a Welrod B&T Station 6. That is categorically false, okay? Definitely wasn't this James Bond looking gun from the 70s. So you can see the shooter having to manually clear casings that failed to eject. And you can see smoke coming from the breech of the pistol. Oh yeah, I see the smoke. Seems like after the third shot, and then I don't think he fires there. I think there's 3 shots, and then the gun jams. And then he tries his damnedest to unjam it, and then points it, but I don't know if he fires again. Let's watch one more time. And then there, the jam. I know, he skips away. He has to manually clear casings that failed to eject. It's always like when you're the moment of truth, when the gun jams or something. The Welrod pistol uses a bolt action mechanism that requires a twist and pull action to open and close the breech. In this photo, you can see how the rear of the pistol must be twisted and pulled out to chamber a new rod. But he's saying that this wasn't a Welrod. Like, what is it? You have to... Weird, dude. Contrast that to this video that I've slowed and zoomed. You can clearly see the slide attempting and failing to cycle after the shot, along with a puff of smoke from the cartridge being fired. The Welrod style's breech remains closed until manually opened. Myth number 2, the shooter was using subsonic ammunition because he was a professional. Also false, the shooter was firing a 9mm. Photos of the live rounds found at the scene show ordinary low-weight FMJ ammunition, not heavier self-defense loads like blah, blah, blah. I don't know what any of that means. Myth number 3, he purposely used subsonic rounds to keep the gun from cycling. False. The failure to eject malfunction was likely caused because he used a silencer without a Nielsen device. Purpose-built handgun silencers have piston booster assemblies for this. Are you catching all this shit? This will be on the exam, by the way. I mean, if you use a silencer, you gotta use a Nielsen device, okay? That's what I'm learning here. Don't ever not use a Nielsen device when you have a silencer. Duh. The additional mass of a silencer on a Browning-style barrel prevents the firearm from cycling properly. The booster gives a bit more oomph to the recoil. And it really makes the body just more round. The presence of live ammunition at the crime scene is an indicator that the firearm was malfunctioning. So there was live ammunition, there was live rounds. Okay, here's a full screen of the additional mass of a silencer on a Browning-style barrel prevents the firearm from cycling properly. The booster gives a bit more oomph to the recoil. The presence of live ammunition at the crime scene is an indicator that it was set up working as intended. You cannot tell the bullet weight by looking at the round on the ground. There's a ton of round nose subsonic rounds out there. By all means, please explain why he'd choose subsonic bullets then, not use a silencer with a booster, causing multiple malfunctions that required failure to eject clearing and left live rounds on the scene. I'll be honest, I don't really understand what any of this shit means, but I like it. I think it's interesting. I like to know the details, even if I don't understand them. You know what I mean? Live means not destroyed from shooting. I thought maybe it just means that the round was like not was still not spent, I guess. It was like it could still be used. If the firearm is recovered or they're able to track down the purchases, I'm guessing we're going to see that this is probably a homemade silencer, either 3D printed, machined from a solvent trap. Holy shit. This goes way deeper than I thought. Certain 9mm silencers are made so that they can be used on a pistol caliber carbine or braced pistols like AR-9s. To do so, the Nielsen device would have to be removed if present. Likewise, it is also possible that the silencer was stolen, then put onto the host weapon. This seems highly unlikely, but it is possible. My highest probability guess, the dude didn't know what he was doing past buy silencer, problem solved, and though direct attaching would be though direct attaching would be enough. They're saying the dude was on a limited budget. Probably because he was paying too much on his premiums. He couldn't afford the right silencer, guys. Give the man a fucking break, dude. Working with what he got. He got the job done. And you still don't even fucking know. All of y'all are just talking about what this man did, okay? This man went and did it. All you doing is talking about it. I know I'm talking about it, but, you know. The CEO is still dead. He got the job done. Exactly. Dude, I don't understand all this gun lingo, okay? I'm a lover. I'm not a fighter, okay? Look, guys, it could have easily been a modified solvent trap, okay? That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I don't know what that is, but I'm just saying. I have it on good authority. Police released he was seen leaving Franklin Douglas housing projects at 5 a.m. before heading to the hit. He was pictured at an international hostel before that. Could he have scooped a stolen suppressor from public housing projects? Yeah, you're speculating. You're a dumbass. I kind of wondered if you watch the video after he's done the deed, he's like kind of hesitates when he gets near the body, and I wonder, at first I thought, was he taking a picture? And then somebody said maybe he was picking up the casings, but I don't think that's right either. Maybe he just stopped to see, well, was he really dead? Or did y'all notice that too? It's a DIY silencer. I don't see how I mean, I'm amazed that people can tell so much from this video. Because to me, it's just like, man walks up with gun, shoots, villain go down. Well, this is an interesting thread. Thank you for sharing. Oh, hi there. In the past 6 months, I've been banned on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Threads, TikTok, and now YouTube. This is 1000% because of my coverage of Israel's genocide against the Palestinians. In light of being demonetized on all these platforms, I've decided to start exclusively posting to Patreon, where you can sign up for all my posts and live streams for just $3 a month. Wow! In addition to having all access to my live streams, you'll also be in a group chat with yours truly.
Wow, that sounds awesome.
I've spent a considerable amount of time and effort trying to build audiences on these platforms only to have them swept away at a moment's notice, and that is pretty frustrating. But I want to say that I'm thankful and grateful for all of your support and kind words throughout all of this, and I hope to see you on these new platforms very soon.